All right, greetings, everyone. Good afternoon. Hey, let me slow down. Good evening. I was about to say good afternoon. Guys, my name is Damon Mason, and I am going live tonight. Tonight, I have a special request. It's been a minute since I've been live on my platform, and I came to thank DM9's LLC. And I had a special request from one of my big brothers, one of my fighting Wildcat big brothers. We gonna discuss, not a lot, you know. Yes, we're gonna discuss what a lot of people have been talking about with this Will Smith situation. All right. Uh, I know everybody has an opinion. I had my opinion, and I shared some things. But one of my big brothers, again, one of my big brothers, Stephen Murdoch, reached out to me and said he had some things that he wanted to talk about, some things he wanted to share, and he asked me to set this up. I said, man, I'd be glad to. Fighting Wildcat big brother, you know what I'm saying? He pulled rank on me. But what I did, I'm gonna we were waiting on Stephen Murdoch to get set up. But while I set up, I want to introduce another fighting Wildcat, my fighting Wildcat little brother. Boy, and I'm gonna let Hank come in. I know he can hear from the studio. He's in the studio right now. I see him laughing, shaking his head. So let me go and bring Hank in here.
Mm.
What's going on,
Good
big
evening.
Hank?
Hey, good evening to you, man. Glad to be here.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for joining, bro, and accepting the invite. And that screen, I was itching to say something, but I was gonna wait till we go live. And I wanted you to be in here and out of the I can't even think right now. When I had your off screen, I said I want to bring you on so you can hear this live. For those of you who don't know, well, we're going live on two of my platforms, Facebook and my YouTube channel. All right. So now Hank Lee Boy played high school football with me at Destrehan High School, home of the Fighting Wildcats. All right. Hank is a very, very, very intelligent young brother. Intelligent man. If I say young man, he's not too much younger than me, but he's younger than me. But we damn near the same age. So out of respect, just Hank is very intelligent, and I want to say that because out of all the years I've known Hank from high school, out of high school, my wife went to college with him. If I'm not mistaken,
That's
I
right.
have never seen Hank before. I've never told Hank how impressed with him I am. I've been. He's always been this intelligent. A quarterback when I was in high school with him. Turned out to be a hell of a defensive end, if I'm not mistaken, when I graduated. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm not mistaken, went to Xavier University,
Right.
all right, in Louisiana, where my
Mm-hmm.
wife went to. And and I think the field that you were working in is in the medical field, correct?
That's correct.
So I've always been impressed with Hank, and I'm very
Mm-hmm.
impressed. And I just had to say that, like I said, I have never said this to this brother before. So I want Hank to speak to introduce himself. That was my introduction. But let me see if I get my big brother in here and see if we got him working right now.
Okay, yeah, y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes,
Fine.
sir. We can hear you. We can hear you.
All right.
And guys, that's my
That
big
like
Steve
Hank said earlier, brother, technology.
So, guys, what I'm gonna do again? My name is Damon Mason, guys. I'm going to you live tonight. We got not some things. We got a couple things we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna introduce. I've already introduced my brother Hank Lee Boy. So, Hank, I'm gonna give it to you, man. Couple seconds. Just introduce yourself and tell people a little bit something about yourself. Probably that I did already share with them.
Yeah. There's not much to say, man. Just again, happy to be here. Happy to be a fighting Wildcat, sharing this platform with, man, some of the best, the legends, right? I got my Hall of Fame Wildcat list, and both of y'all are on it. So
Yeah.
this is an honor and a pleasure, to be here. And it's also a good situation when Black men can come together and discuss things of this nature, and try to provide some insight, and just and try to build.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And let me, again, let me officially introduce our big brother, Stephen Murdoch, one of the true fight Wildcats. Steve, we've been through this before, man, but go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Tell other people about you, man.
Man, Stephen Murdoch, man, doing my thing. Former fighting Wildcat, 87. Family man, brother, blessed. Love having conversations and keeping up with my young brothers. Love watching y'all grow into family men. And man, you just keep pushing it to the next level, man. And like you said, we had football careers. Now it's the next level family man careers, man. And both of y'all, top notch. Just like Hank Lee Boy said, man, top notch, bro. On the Hall of Fame list.
Yeah,
grown men.
Appreciate that. And guys, before I go any further, let me, like I like to do, I got my cell phone, guys, so I'm going to make sure how things look. Make sure everything looks up to par. And we should be live.
So Murdoch, I'm going to convince him to come up with those maroon jackets at some point.
Yeah, hey man, listen, bro, y'all gonna have to do something because man, my jacket got stolen as soon as I got it, man. So I don't even have my varsity jacket. I need that in my life, man.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get those maroon jackets at some point.
Yeah, yes sir.
Hey, what guy? I can't find it, but I'm not gonna hold it. So before we start the board, people, let me get the background. It's a little bit louder. So once again, for those of you who are watching live right now on Facebook, those of you who are watching live on my YouTube channel, my big brother Stephen Murdoch, based on what's taking place in society right now, as Hank, and that's why I want Hank, because again, I knew Hank was gonna come with the realness. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I'm intelligent, you know what I'm saying? But like someone always says, you should surround yourself with brothers or people in general, white or black. I'm gonna be real, white or black, who on your level or who on level that you want to be on. Or better yet, Hank and Steve, I like this one here. If you I heard someone say from a business standpoint, if you are the smartest person in the room, you're not gonna learn nothing.
You're right.
I think I hold my own to a very, very high level when we talk about sports, especially football.
Right.
But when it comes down to stuff like this here, I know Hank is very intelligent, and Murdoch, I know you're very intelligent. So Murdoch reached out to me so we can discuss this thing with Will Smith. And I'll reach out to Hank again. I knew Hank was gonna come with the real. So with that being said, Murdoch, since you're the oldest, and this was your idea, I want you guys to speak. Matter of fact, let me do this here. I do have a chat in case if anybody who's listening and watching, you guys have any comments, questions, share something. My chat is accessible. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the time to read. We don't be here long. Hank is here short period of time. So I want Murdoch to start and go ahead and just take it away, man. We're gonna throw from you, Murdoch. Talking about the Chris Rock and Will's situation.
Well, man, like every other person, me, I'm more on a comical type of thing. I look at life that way, man. Just try to find the funny in thing, and it kind of ease my mentality as far as going through life. And when I first seen it, not to criticize anything Will Smith, not to criticize anything with Chris Rock, but I went through a bunch of emotions. At first I was kind of laughing like, man, this dude really went up there and slapped this guy, And then I looked at Chris Rock and how he handled himself professional. But man, when it happened, like everybody in this country, when they seen it, bro, it was a bunch of mixed emotions. I went from kind of laughing at it, went from kind of like, well, hold up, bro, does this really happen? To, man, stuff, and it's a lot of things that was involved in that, and and I'm gonna try to be short, try to be quick and short with it, because I know Hank got he got a short time being on, but man, when I got down to the meat and gravy of everything and looked at it, I said, Chris Rock passed of the other award show when Jada wanted him not to be on it, and everybody has rambled this on before. He made shots at him. I know it was Will Knight. They had historical things that was going on. A black guy was choreographing the whole thing. He had 3 women hosting it. 2 of them had to be African American women. And it was Will and them night. That's why Will and them was sitting up front. Now, I think Chris Rock probably didn't know. I think he went off script when he said the joke, you know, but when you break everything down from being a person from St. John Parish, Destrehan, and St. Rose, and every area we come from, you can break down things and situations even after it happened and can say, yeah, I see where that came from. And, bro, we laughed at it. You know what I'm saying? He laughed at it.
Right.
Chris Rock went off beat. He's a comedian. That's what comedians do. Now, was that bad timing and a bad joke? Of course it was. Of course it was, you know? And I don't think Will coming on stage had anything to do with just that immediate joke in that night. And I know people saying, you know, even Tiffany Haddish like, well, I seen a man protecting this woman. But hold on a second. You know, I'm from St. Rose. I know a lot of guys in the graveyard that, you know, stood up and protect their women. So now you want that situation? Because that's where it took that man. That man got to that he looked in his wife's face and had to get up stage and slap that man. You know, now the sad part about it is, bro, it had nothing to do with the joke. Personally, really, it had nothing to do with Chris Rock. If you want to go deep, bro, it had to do with his household. You know, his kids taking exotic pictures, you know, wanting to be who they are. Their daughter wants to be who she is. Jada got a red table talking about everything personal. So, man, you know, dude, Will Smith always been a smiling guy. I don't care what book he wrote, you know, describing who he is. The dude always was a personal, quiet guy. So you telling me what I seen a man that have no control of his household. And I ain't gonna say his woman. I'm saying the man didn't have no control of his household and he was up to here. Now, all that canceling, that dude need counseling. He needs somebody to talk to, and he need a family get together to talk to. And I'm gonna be honest with you, with the best thing I think will go on with their family, they go back to being quiet again, man. Because you can't share. You know, I got personal things going on in my life right now. You know, and you know I'm on Facebook 24/7. But there's certain things I can't share. You know, if I put my personal thing out there on Facebook, and Hank said, you know what, man, I don't give a damn about you and your personal business. So me and Hank going back and forth on Facebook, I got to look at myself and say, oh, man, I put myself out there. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote this. If Hank didn't start it by making a comment, I wrote this. And it's out there. And Hank, that's Hank's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, no Will don't need to be canceled. No Will don't need his award taken away. But like I said, man, Chris Rock stood up there, bro. You know, half the guys I know could not deal with that. That could have not happened. You know, that could have not happened. So, like everybody said, you didn't get in touch with Chris Rock. Nobody asking how he's doing. You know, I think the man handled himself professional. I think the man know it was a bad joke, you know, but you gonna laugh at it, walk on stage, and then slap that man. Now, if you was a real man, now, it would have been played out different if Will had the same emotion Jada had as soon as it happened. He yelled out those cuss words while he walking on stage to give that man a chance to protect himself. Show that man you mad when you walk and you approaching him, so that man can have a chance to defend himself and say, hold up, man, it's a joke. I'm sorry. But you laugh. That's nothing honorable. Nothing was honorable about that. Don't give me nothing about protecting it. Nothing was honorable about that, man. And I'm a strong believer in protecting my family. And y'all know me. Protecting my family and my wife. You know what I'm saying? And I had situations where I had to tell my wife, it's time to move on. We ain't doing this. You know, I've been in a place where I'm gonna let Hank take over and I'm gonna let you take over. I've been in a place where me and my wife was out and about. People came up to us, man, didn't even know these cats. You know, hey man, this and that, having a good time. I went to the restroom, came back. Man, my wife tossed the beer in the guy's face. And man, he just rubbed his face and I looked at him like, bro, I don't know what happened, but it's about to happen. You know, he's like, I didn't say anything. Come to find out, he's saying, what you look too good, or what you doing with this N-word? And my wife threw the beer in his face. So my thing was, look, I didn't know what was going on. All I did was let him wipe that beer off his face. And hey man, whatever gonna happen. But I didn't go straight up hitting this dude. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you gotta think. And he lost it in the moment, but it's a bigger picture is a bigger picture than Chris Rock. That dude
Right.
has family issues, and he's fed up to here with all the stuff that's up. So yeah.
Hey, go ahead, little brother. You take it. You next, big man.
So, of course, I agree with with everything you're saying. Yeah, and that's how things are gonna be when you air out. You air out your household business, your personal issues. You're leaving yourself vulnerable, and if you're gonna do that, then you got to be able to, deal with what's coming behind it. Okay, if
Right.
you're gonna live a public life, right? If Damon, you're gonna expose what you did in secret, then you got to be able to handle.
Exactly.
Be able to handle when I think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If
Right.
you're gonna tell me all the embarrassing things that you've done in life, the things that really hurt you, things that your wife may have done. Hey man, once you put that out there, that's where we at. But but one of the things that I can say, there's so many facets to this situation. One of the things that bothered me the most, honestly, I didn't even, for me, I never really got into the slap and all that kind of thing. Really, it was the public's response that was the most triggering thing for me.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the public response. And so, I'm looking at guys who can't bust a grape, man, talking about, this is what you do to defend your woman. And I'm like,
Right.
man, I know some people right now that could disrespect your wife and you ain't gonna do a thing
You ain't gonna
about
say
it.
that.
Yeah. And
Right.
the other thing that I've said to people in conversation is that when you talk about, real lions, right?
Right.
You respect another one, right?
Right.
When you talk about real men, I'm not gonna walk up and slap Damon because, hey man, you don't know, what's gonna happen. And sometimes a fight is a fight to the death, right?
And Will knew that. He knew that. That's why he picked that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which I won't even say what we call that, but But yeah, man, when you go picking out the right guy to make an example of, you say, hey, bring that down the street by Damon. Take that down there to Stephen and see how he gonna handle it. When you go picking out the guy who's gonna handle it the right way,
right?
Hey, man, it says something about you. Let's just put it that way. But like I was saying, man, when you come up in a system of men, and I'm trying to talk about growing up with other men around you, real men around you, then you learn how to respect another man, and you already know that hey man, you can't take anything for granted. You know what I'm saying? Not with anybody that you deal with. Another example that I gave folks is that, man, if I was, and I actually had a sister that we grew up with, we had a conversation about it, and one of her thoughts is that, so when all y'all guys started, handling y'all problems through conversation and all in this positive manner, she was like, I didn't know y'all did that. And what I had to remind her of, I was like, well, sister, the last fist fight I was in, it was probably 1996.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know too many men in fist fights all the time because we've learned how to handle things appropriate. There's a time, to get down and dirty, and hopefully that's a last resort, right?
Yeah.
At this point, we can come up with other ways to try to handle problems. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't know many men in fist fights all the time. We figure out how to work things out. We talk about it, and sometimes you even have to walk away and just ignore it.
Right.
Hey man, Stephen having a bad night, bro. I'm just gonna let this one ride. And that's what Chris did in this case. Yeah.
Now, my quick tad bit is, first, let's start with Chris Rock, because I mean, as Steve said, when I posted, and someone, a friend of mine, a couple of people asked, well, what about Chris? Basically, in layman's terminology, what about Chris Rock? I feel like Chris didn't do nothing wrong. I actually he didn't do nothing wrong. And first of all, matter of fact, let me be very, very blunt. I've been telling people at work, social media is one thing, but people at work want to see your face. Personally, Hank, Steve, Big Brother, I'm sick of hearing about Jada and Will. I am sick, and I can say I'm tired of hearing about Jada and Will, and I'm tired of hearing about Kanye and the Kardashians.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
You mean to tell me that's the only stuff that y'all report? Which we already know how this go, how society is,
Yeah.
and how media is. But
Mm-hmm.
from three brothers, three men who so happen to be black,
Yeah,
and proud to be black. You mean to tell
Mhm.
me that y'all can't find nothing else to promote? I don't want to hear about that.
yep,
They
yeah,
got enough stuff that's happening in. I live in Conyers, Georgia, Rockdale County. They got enough stuff that's happening around where Steve lives at. They got enough stuff happening where he lives at. And but yet there's enough stuff happening in the river parishes in St. Charles, St. John, St. James parishes where we was born and raised.
right.
If the world
Right.
don't know about.
Yep.
I don't care about the Grammys. I'm not getting no invitation to the Grammys.
Exactly.
I'm going on above and beyond. But honestly, that was my thought. Waking up, like Hank said, waking up in the morning and it's all over social media. And the first thing I did, Hank, was I ain't looking at the comments. And I'm, you know, I actually thought my first thought was I saw somebody made a post something like Bad Boys 4. So I'm like, you know, just waking up, I'm thinking, well, shit, what happened? I'm thinking something happened between Will and Martin. Well,
right.
And my first thought was, well, maybe Will or Martin walked off stage and, you know, maybe they had a disagreement and somebody walked off stage. And so I'm driving to work, and while I'm driving, which I should have been doing, I look, I'm like, I'm seeing a speck.
Yeah.
But y'all know me, this stage of Damon, you know, Steve don't know me at hanging out, talking about off screen. Hank know me from my playing days. You know, our mindset was totally different in high school football.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I said to say, I'm very, very conscious of. I like to tell people this way. I like to censor. I'm a censor myself. I don't need nobody else to censor me. So anyway, I'm looking at the comments, and I'm looking at all the stuff that's people saying, and there was a lot of negative, and then a few positive. And the first thing, Hank, to what you were saying, my first thought was, well, again, not saying who's right or wrong, but I'm looking at, well, how many of you people on Facebook commenting who are on social media, any social media, but especially Facebook, talking about keep my child name out your mouth. You blasting on social media. You blasting your personal business on social media, talking about I'm gonna protect mine. Don't play with me like that. Don't play with my child. Keep my child. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking all this kind of stuff, all these people who could be considered very hypocritical, that you passing judgment. You passing judgment for the same stuff that you do on social media.
Well, see, and I'm gonna tell you that.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna tell you this, Damon. Just like Hank said, and you tapped into it too, bro. And I called this, and this is what I laughed, man. What social media did also, bro, it gave cowards steroid fingers. You know what I'm saying? Bro, they got a lot of folks with steroid fingers, man. You know, and, bro, they like that. They ain't about that life. Listen, man. I know who I grew up with. I know who I grew up around. Man, I'm not, bro. I'm not no killer. I'm not no hard. I'm not the guy to go up there and slap somebody in the face. You know, knowing I'm gonna think it through. But bro, I guarantee you ain't gonna play with me. But you know, people that carry themselves, people know. You know, when you carry yourself that type of way, man. Look, listen. I've been knowing Hank longer than I've been knowing you. Always been a quiet, well-spoken guy, bro. I can look at that dude and say, man, that dude know how to control himself. He know how to conduct himself. What makes you think that dude don't know how to explode on you? You know what I'm saying? But you got to watch them type of people.
Right.
You know, and that's the thing, man. Certain dudes, and you know, and I'm gonna get a little bit on this too about all that. You know, and it might be changing it up. And I know you got every guideline on this, but you know, the sad part, what I seen about it, man, those two guys, you know, Will Smith and Chris Rock slapping each other at the Oscars. And the first, you know, when I thought about the sad part of it, one thing came to mind, Damon, the same thing we had on our last conversation with the other brothers about, you know, sports. Right. Bro, we at the point that we talking about coaches, black coaches. And bro, we got the good old boy system with the black ownership. We can't get black ownership. Now you think for 1 minute, somebody is not looking at that's how they act. You know? Yeah. Puffy wanted to have that. Puffy wanted to buy the Carolina Panthers. Wouldn't allow him to do it. Because you know what? That one step forward, couple of steps back. That's Will Smith and Chris Rock slapping each other on stage. That is the plateau of Hollywood success. But that's how they act. And that takes us backwards, bro.
They said we can't have the next black coach slapping the referee, huh?
That's what I'm saying, man. So now we talking about ownership. I ain't worried about coaches. I want ownership. You want everything to be even? Ownership. And man, you think for 1 minute, people not looking at that's how they act. Right there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you know, and like I said, man, we'll want to do that. Give that man the opportunity. Like and everybody, here's the big question, everybody. Would he did Steinfeld that? Would he did The Rock that if they made that joke?
Yeah, right. If The Rock made the joke, would he have? Nah.
He wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, he wouldn't have did it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's me, bro. That's just me. Hey, you know, I don't get no sense behind that, bro. And don't get me wrong, like I said, could Chris Rock have thought a little bit and said, man, he kind of making this out to be Will's night? Look like you paused, Damon.
Yeah.
Look like they're making this out to be Will's night. Got so many celebrities in the room. It's not Will's night for me to pick on. He could have thought about. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying Chris was all right. It was bad timing. It was just bad timing, dude. You know. And I commend how he handled himself and picked himself up. But man, you don't do that to a man, bro. You know, just like who was that said? Shannon Sharp said in the neighborhood. One thing you don't do to black men, you don't spit on them, call them an N-word, you don't slap them. You know?
Yeah.
You don't do those things. Yeah.
I thought his comments were good as well. Yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah, it's man, I don't know. It was a sad situation, man. I don't know. I would like to see Will. Yeah, put it to you this way. As far as the Oscars picking up from that, the man Oscars shouldn't be taken away from him. But this is what I was disappointed in. Okay, the Oscars always ask Chris Rock to host. He's always invited there. They always want his face. But man, it seemed like nobody was there to protect the dude. Now I know that window, people always talking about, well, if they would have removed them in that 15-minute second, it would have made a big old debauchery about it. It would have been even worse. But my thing was, man, you seen Assault on stage, escort him out the building. So Will Smith bigger than that? He bigger than going up there, getting his award, not apologizing to that man, then going out partying. Yeah. And I said this, like, now we're gonna talk about where we from, right? You think Chris Rock don't have people that love him? You know what I'm saying? Like Will got people that love him? Bro, we already lost two creative brothers, Biggie and Tupac, behind stupidness. Because you know what, bro? Tupac had people that loved him. And you know what? Biggie had people that loved him. But you know what? That's what's the sad and scary part about all this. You know, it might not be Chris Rock. Him and Will can write apologies. But bro, what if Chris people that love him pull up on him? Yeah. You know? It's bigger than that. You know? So yeah.
So
ahead,
I mean, it's definitely the case. When, you know, if it was you and I in that situation, you know, we would have been escorted out of the building. So I don't think Will should get a pass. And to be honest with you, man, I'm not even sure if I believe, you know, that I'm not convinced that Chris did anything wrong. One, he's a comedian, and two, are we absolutely certain that he knew about some kind of medical condition? And if you can't handle living in the public realm, of living a public life, then you know what you've chosen, you know, isn't a good fit for you. That's why I'm not on stage. People can probably, you know, there's a lot of people who can play basketball that never get to the NBA. A lot of people, you know, who can play football who never make it to the NFL. Yeah, you know, you got to be able to conduct yourself in all arenas, you know.
Yeah, you got a bad echo, D.
I apologize to everybody.
All right, give me a second, because I just pulled up home. Just give me a second while you're straightening that out.
I was gonna say right there now.
I actually had to go live on my cell phone and take myself off my laptop. The devil was a lie, Hank.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so thank God I was able to. Like I said, I'm on my cell phone right now and close myself out on my laptop. Anyway, man. But now, bro, I was still listening to everything y'all was saying. I'm glad y'all guys kept talking, and I actually, believe it or not, I'm glad Murdoch cut me off, because that was my first thought. As I was saying, that was my first thought about the comments, but everybody entitled to their comments. And so as I drove to work, and as I was at work, Hank, I started thinking about, well, what's more important for me? All right, especially at this stage of my life. And you know how you and I spoke off screen, how we spoke the other day on the phone about the question you asked me, is everything at this stage of my life, man, is about being positive. And as I posted, and as I always post, I was always taught to look for the positive in a negative situation, and just reading the comments, and it just irked my nerve, because again, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but I'm just looking at how it came across. But then I saw two posts, guys, and I want you guys to really talk. I know Hank gotta go. I want you guys to talk. The two posts that I saw, Hank and Steve, that made me make my first post about the picture with Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington. The first post I saw was a very long post, and I don't know if it was a male or female, but so the individual, it says, I'm gonna paraphrase right quick. It was talking about how the unspoken rule in the black community. All right, and basically what it was saying was, I think Murdoch was speaking on it, but it was saying like, as though there are things that you're gonna do to a black man. And one of the things I didn't know, and I read this comment, it was like, you don't disrespect a black man's wife or woman, and yada yada yada. And I like, wow. I said, okay. And then when I saw someone made a post about Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry reaching out to that brother, and especially on social media, I always pray, guys, before I make any comments, because y'all know, like I know, once you put something out there, you can't really take it back. And so at work, the Holy Spirit just put in my heart, man, about everything I'm trying to do with the stuff that I always talk about, the message that goes out. Hey, man, you know what Damon Mason wants to talk about? I'm more pleased about seeing these two brothers, and one of my friends made a post. He said, he was like, well, Damon, why you have to mention black men? Why can't it just be two individuals? And I respect his comment. And since I'm going live, I'm gonna say it live. The reason why I posted and stressed is black men, because people need to understand that all black men don't act this way. I don't accept what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said about the black community and how it's gonna look. I don't accept what no one, you know what I'm saying? And even though it's a fact and it's true that they look at all of us based on what happens with either Will or any individual. My thing is this here: Will Smith, Chris Rock don't have nothing to do with the Mason household. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. My kids either know or don't know who the hell Will Smith or Chris Rock is, and if my kids was idolizing Will Smith or Chris Rock, then something wrong with me as a father. Right. That's how I look at it. So, go ahead, Hank. I'm gonna let you go ahead, Hank. I'm
good, man.
So well, I was gonna say, I take that to heart. Don't ever put me in the category of every other black man. Even though some white family gave me the last name Mason, I go by Mason because Mason represents my father and his father, and so on and so forth. So I take pride on who I am, who raised me, and the people who helped me become the man that I am. Don't put me in the category of people who I've never met.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this question. Well, the guy that asked you why it can't be all men probably happened to be a white guy, right?
Right.
Okay. So with that being said, just like what you say, what you fight, what he don't understand, what you fight personally, that we hear that from the white community. Like I said earlier, that's how they act. And plus, we get it from the Bill Cosby that said that Kareem might have made a comment about all black men. And you know what? There's just like comedy is truth within a lot of things. It's truth within in between those lines. But when you think about yourself personally, I tell you what, like all the police shootings and stuff like that, when I gave people examples of what happened to me personally thinking that would get through to people, still went over their head. You know, I'll give you another example. Brother David.
Steve, one second. I'm sorry, brother. I know our brother Hank gotta go, man. Let's give Hank a chance to say one more thing so he can go.
Yeah, that's why I said Hank go. Yeah.
Go okay, all right. Well, you know, overall, man, I really enjoyed the conversation. I wish I could stay. It's just that, you know, the way things kind of shaked out, it just didn't give me a lot of time. I don't know if we could run a part 2.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like that, because even where the conversation is headed now, I think it's something I love to be able to comment on. But you know, I think this is a good opportunity. You know, thank you, Damon, for putting it together where we can sit down and kind of share some perspective, you know, on the issue, and it's not in the realm, you know, of us bickering. It's not in the realm of an argument. I really get sick of that on TV as well. But just an opportunity to kind of just build and figure out where you go from here as far as next steps. You know, I think it all is helpful. And so, again, thank you for the opportunity, man. I like saying, if you decide to run a part 2, please allow me to join. I'll be happy to speak on, you know, kind of where the conversation is moving to.
Definitely, my brother. Definitely, man. And we appreciate you, brother. And definitely. Might be tomorrow, man. I'm off tomorrow.
I'm off tomorrow too.
And I'll be off the same time, so we can do it again.
Okay. Cool. All right, I'm done, brothers.
All right, Hank, take it easy, man.
Okay.
All right.
1 second, man.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Trying to plug up my phone. Yeah, brother. Why don't you go ahead and finish, man?
But no, like Hank said, man, this would have been a good thing for him to get into. Also, but like I was saying, man, you know, and I know it might sound like, I don't want it to sound like no heartstring thing, but it's the reality, man. What people don't understand, man, black men do go through a lot of things. Not men in general, but black men go through a lot of stuff, man. We go through a lot of things where people just don't understand, and that's fine not understanding. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I wanted to do this when Hank was on there. You know, all this. You know, the lies and stuff like that comes behind a lot of things with black men. Brother David Caesar did this to me years ago. He said, you know, you always hear about the fatherless, black fathers not there, this and that. Okay, like I said, there's always truth somewhere in between the lies. Meaning that he said, I tell you what, name out of all, he said, I'm doing this with you. I'm gonna do this experiment with you, Steve, because you have a lot of friends. And it's not a time thing. I'm just gonna tell you go. He said, name any of your friends that don't have a father in their home. And I was like, okay, that guy. He said, exactly. They want to make believe that our dads are just not there. And he said, and if our dads aren't there, they have someone in that community that people look up to as a dad. Like your father. Like EJ, look at my dad like a dad. My brother-in-law who lost his dad when he was a baby, look at my dad like his dad. You know, older guys in the neighborhood say, man, your dad was the neighborhood dad. You had an example there. But the lie is we're not there.
Right.
Same thing like with these kids around here. Man, I'm not from this area.
Right.
And they got kids, hey, Papa Murdoch. Don't act like we not, and I'm black. You know what I'm saying? I'm that black guy that's supposed to be absentee, but I got white kids calling me Papa Doc. So what is this? You know what I'm saying? And not only that, man, like what you said, brothers coming up. Let's go to that point. Brothers coming up like Tyler Perry and Denzel, right? And I wanted Hank to be on here because Hank was there at that Ed Hall of Fame thing. And I'm not gonna say any names. That Ed Hall of Fame thing. Man, we were eating, we had a great time. They had all the young brothers around, even Hank. But they had 2 young brothers that grew up together, balled together at Destrehan and everything. Talking to them, come to find out, them dudes haven't talked to each other in years until they seen each other at the Hall of Fame thing. Now, I ain't saying no names. But you know what I did? That ain't right. I let everybody celebrate. Everybody had a good time. Man, the moment I got back to this country in my home, I got outside the garage, got on my cell phone, and called both of them individually. And said, look here, man, y'all got to squash this. I want both of y'all to go out there and have lunch together. I want both of y'all to talk and listen to each other. But man, y'all been around each other too long for me to hear y'all not talking to each other. Now that's what I'm gonna do as a big brother.
And I'm assuming they're fighting Wildcats that day.
Oh yeah, definitely. Grew up best. Me, Lonnie, Dante, DJ, Lance, Edward. They best of friends, like close like that. And I did not know they wasn't talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know, and still today, I don't know if that lunch date ever happened or the conversation even, but you guys are not that proud. This ain't a slap, this ain't a fight. Man, whatever it is, y'all got to sit down and talk. No wives, no children, no friends, just you and him got to sit down and talk. And that's why, like Tyler Perry and Denzel, I felt obligated to step in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
all right, let me do something right quick. So I have my computer back up. So
you got to double check.
Let me.
Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff going on, man. Hold on one second.
All right.
Yeah, hold that phone, man. My hand was weak.
That's why I propped mine up. I wasn't holding it.
So I'm gonna close out one screen so I can focus on the screen that's on the computer. Let me close out this.
There you go.
There we go. I guess I should hang up. Give me a second.
Yeah, he's still up there.
Yeah, I can always get back in if I need to. Sometimes close it out. There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Technology, boy. It's it. When it's working good, it's perfect. When it ain't working right, chaos. So,
exactly. Yeah.
Hey, brother, at least you said there's no time limit. You know, even if it was funny, I don't even think we live on Facebook, but we live. We are definitely live. We got one guest. Whoever that one guest is, thank you for timing in. You know, maybe it's not meant for a lot of people to get in here right now. It will be posted. You know, I'm gonna post it on Facebook anyway.
Right.
But on strength of what you were saying, man, about everything, that's why I said, you know, we are going to discuss something else briefly at the end, because today I was given confirmation that it's time for me to speak on it, and it started when you reached out to me to talk about this here. You know, even what you said about my friend who so happened to be a white guy, and I thought about this today in preparation for this call, and watch this here. You know what? In this society, it's all what's the word I'm looking for? It's all relative to everything that's taking place.
Right. You know? It is. Yeah.
We frown upon calling ourselves black men. Right, in society today, or men of color or Afro-American. When I'm gonna throw whoever watching this live, whether one individual watching this live or whoever watching recording, you know, research has led me to believe, and I accept. I'm gonna say it again. I accept the fact that, you know what? Not only am I'm a black man, you know, I'm a man of color, but I'm a Negro.
Right.
You know, that is a term that's in the encyclopedia. And I'm sorry, Wikipedia, and the term Negro was actually formulated for a body of people in Spain. Now, I'm gonna leave that right there. A whole nother conversation based on some research, searching for some truth for myself.
Right.
So I am a Negro. And 9 times out of 10, big brother, when I speak, you know, I speak out of my life. I don't speak on stuff I don't know.
Right.
I'm gonna speak on it, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. And the reason why, and when I get passionate about the stuff that I experience, man, I don't care what nobody else say, think, or do. This is my life. It's already happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you feel offended for what I said out of my own life, then you got a problem.
Right.
And I don't care what color you are, big brother, because see, just like I can see a white man for the evil stuff that he has done. Notice I ain't saying no names.
Right.
I know black people who do worse.
Yeah.
Today.
Yes, sir.
That's my issue.
Yeah.
See, that's my issue. But when I look at stuff that happened with Will Smith, and that's why I was saying before, I don't have time to worry about these people, man.
Right. Right. You gotta keep
kids
moving
of my own who are 10 and 12. I have an organization that I'm trying to build to help other young boys become young men. I ain't got time to sit there and worry about when Will Smith get on stage at the Grammys. People making millions of dollars.
Right.
I really care. I do, but I don't.
Right. Yep. And, you're exactly right, man. Listen, man. I think if you had a timer, I think I spend more time on Facebook than a lot of folks. But then you also see me equal time or more time spend time with my family and kids. My kids, like your kids at the age, they have a lot of working out to do. They have a lot of figuring out to do. And like you said, just only imagine, and I'm not pulling no heartstrings saying that it's rougher than any other thing. Just imagine interracial, like with our kids. Me and EJ had this conversation. Right. We had this conversation as far as our children, and I know at one time, and I heard Holly Berry speak on it one time before about, her mom put her in the mirror and say, "You're black. That's how the world gonna look at you," and all the rest of that. But my wife had enlightened me, and I don't want to make this out no black and white issue. I just want to make like what the kids going through. My wife had explained to my son, well, that in hindsight might be true the way you look at it. But you tell me, is it fair because you want to tell people you're black, is it fair to exclude me, your mother, out of the situation?
Right.
So like my kids growing up now, man, they know who they are. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be there as a parent to help them figure it out. Everything is, that go back to the black men not being there. No, we there. We got to be there for our children to help them figure this life thing out. I don't have time. Like you say, Will Smith not paying the bills, dude. Will Smith not sending the kids to college. I wish Will Smith and Chris Rock could pick them up and bring them to school every day. That ain't happening, So, but yeah, man, like you say, I know who I am as a person, as a black man. I don't want to. I'm not here to scare white people, saying that I know who I am, trying to be strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here. I'm not here for black people, because like what you said a lot, man. Yeah, we could talk about things in the past or even things today, what white people have done. But damn, bro, I've seen a lot of black stuff that we ain't doing.
Nah. So here we go.
Yeah.
Watch I change the direction. And I told you about the second part that we're gonna talk about. And I didn't know, again, once I prayed, you wasn't on here. I was telling Hank before we went live. I said, Hank, you about to see how I am off screen before I go live. I be thinking. And you know how it is. Once you hit live, now I just gotta go. But before I do that, I pray. Now, you always say, one of my intros was that I always pray and ask the Holy Spirit to speak through me and allow me to say what needs to be said, and that it come out the way that it needs to come out. Because once it come out, that's when you're talking live.
Right.
You can't go back and edit this.
Yeah. You're right.
So with all that being said, I felt like I was given the okay by the Holy Spirit when you called me to do this here. And my wife, who's a principal right now, I heard her speaking to a parent about a situation. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And I listened, and I'm listening to her speak to this parent about a situation dealing with athletics. And I'm sitting here like, now I'm listening to my wife. I'm like, okay, and she's taking care of that. I'm like, okay. And then I had to fight back tears because it's very relative to what I'm about to say. And I said, and it's dealing now with people. And I didn't know what to say, because not only is it dealing a young black kid and a black coach, this kid is part of my family. And so now I had to make sure that, hold up, let me get the anger out of my system before I go on social media and say something out of anger. I can't do that.
Right.
As a family member, I would say I have the right, because that's my family member. But I want a different, like we talking about again about Will Smith, Chris Rock.
Right.
The right way and the wrong way. Make a long story very short. There's a right way and the wrong way. I want to make sure that I do things right, because I have to practice what I preach. That's what I believe in. That's what I was taught.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fight Wildcat way as well.
And
I made a post, not a post, but I mentioned this in hindsight. There's always a method to my madness. I always throw hints in certain things I post. and it goes something like this here. I am sick and tired of coaches who holding grudges on kids for any reason. Make it long story very short. And I'm gonna say it again. I am sick and tired of coaches who hold things against kids for any reason. Now watch this here. Throw into that conversation that it's a black coach dealing with a black kid, just so I can make it hit home.
Yeah.
And it don't matter about the color, but
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right is right, wrong is wrong.
And I'm gonna be bold and say this here. I tell anybody, because I say it at work. There's all kind of different races, creeds, and colors. So I'm gonna say it on social media. I am the wrong person to try to play that black and white card.
Right.
I see color when you make me see the color.
Right.
I've seen some evil white people and I've seen some evil black people.
Evil black people.
Play with me.
Yeah.
Because I'll put you on blast.
Right. I'm the same way.
And me putting you on blast is the least I can do.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. You know, like you say, I'll put it this way. At this point, watching my son and not coaching and doing all the rest of that, man, it's hard. You know, and basically similar to what you're talking about. And I'm gonna say it, and I don't care. I really don't care. It doesn't have anything to do with color, and I didn't want to look at it that way. Right. I had to stay focused on giving my son the life lessons on what was going on with him.
Right.
You know, he recreation running back, right? Doing his thing. Another kid come out first year as a running back, playing with him. Okay. We watching the first 3 games of the season. My short little son playing middle linebacker with his other kid, but he handled his business. I don't understand why he's at that position, but okay, you know, let him go ahead on and play it. I'm not the guy to go tell the coaches anything. Not at this point. 7th grade. Okay, now he's in the backfield playing running back. Get 1 carry a game. Now, yeah, I'm petty. I'm in my feelings. Yeah, this dude, he a wreck hero. Why are you getting 1 carry? So I'm still like, man, I'm putting myself in check. Like you say, I'm not perfect. But everybody noticed that too in the stands. All the parents, right? So my wife, hot. She hot. You need to go talk to the coach. Now I knew this could be good or it could be a mistake. So here we go again. This is where I had to think. Now it doesn't matter, but the coach happened to be white, a white guy, and it really doesn't matter. So I get in the office, talk to the guy, talking to him, man, I ain't even want to talk about football, talking about each other, how you doing, man, this and that, season going well, blah, blah, blah. So I got down, we had 35-minute great conversation. At the end, I just said, no, I said, man, coach, I just really came and asked, you guys had any, you have any idea if you guys going to implement Brendan more in the offense? You know, he's like, yeah, I was planning on doing that. That's what he told me. Okay. So they played the next game. He gave Brendan the ball, gave him the ball. They won 22-0 against a powerhouse rival team. Man, the offense looked good. They were moving the ball. The ball was shared around. After that, all the way to the end of the season, back to 1 carry a game. And I told Brendan he's going to run that 1 kid because it's a difference. Understand, this wasn't a race thing. It was catering instead of coaching. You catering to a parent and kids instead of coaching. And I said, that's going to end up getting that boy hurt. And you know what happened at the end of the season, D? That boy got hurt. They hurt the kid, you know, and my son wanted to quit, and I did not allow him to quit.
Okay.
He was like, Dad, I'm done. After having a game with no carries, Dad, I'm done. I was like, nah, just get your stuff, son. Come on out. So you see what I'm saying?
Big brother,
you know?
I'm gonna chime in now because I feel like you don't know what you're doing right now, bro. You do, but you don't. For me, because and maybe the Lord allowing you to be open with me, which is gonna make me be open with you for the benefit of those who are watching this. Nobody live right now, which it don't matter, or whoever watching this here, the recording. And I went through a same situation with my son, who is also in 7th grade, but it was with a black coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So my quick story, I met the man, young brother. I met him during the summer before school even started. He introduced, I went to the gym, he was working out 3 kids. He came sit down in the gym, talk to me, told me his story about himself, yada yada yada. You know, me, all right, hey man, yeah. Well, let me tell you about myself.
Right.
And like it always happens, when I'm done telling you about my accomplishment, people, people want me to get involved.
Right.
I don't want to lock myself into that, but I tell you what, and I can tell you one thing: as long as my son is out here, I'm gonna be out here every day.
Right.
And
well, I'm gonna go deep on you with this. Go ahead.
And try to make a long story very short, he asked me what I will, coach. No, she don't call me coach. Coach, what position you want your son to play? I said, Coach, man, at this age, it really don't matter. It don't really matter to me. I honestly, Coach, I don't care about wins or losses.
Yeah.
All right. And as I openly say on social media, I share with anybody, especially when I'm dealing with my kids, I say, Coach, I'm not that kind of dad, man. That's gonna, I'm not that kind of dad. But I am that man and that dad that's gonna tell you this here. I have accomplished too much. And I'm gonna say it again. I have accomplished too much.
Yes.
To let my son be taught wrong.
Right.
Or not taught at all.
Right.
I will be close enough to hear what you're saying. Right.
And I'm not. That's why I step away, because of knowledge of the games, whether it's track and field, football, and all that, baseball. Yeah,
hey, brother.
Good.
Hold that thought. Believe it or not, my bear about to run. I'm gonna run upstairs and get my bear before I get cut off.
All right.
I have to get my battery. Yeah. All right, to our fans who watching this recording, I apologize. But hey, that's what I love about doing this here, man. Hey, we just two normal dads.
Like you said, you can't edit live.
Like I tell people about anything, man. You know what? Myself on that note, big brother.
Yeah, but man. But one thing life taught me, man. We talk about coaches, we talk about black and white issues, and all the rest of that. Is that the funny thing? I'm 53 years old now, and I don't know everything. I don't know everything. But one thing I've been experiencing though, especially amongst our own people. Let's get on our own people. Is that, man, sometimes I've noticed it's a little jealous and envy. From what you explained to me, and it can go with any race. It can go with, a white coach. But when you start explaining your resume, then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Things are different with your kids. When at first approach, this is who I am. So when you start explaining your resume, things are a little different. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I come with my kids, man, I don't like to talk about what I did or accomplished or who I know or who I mentored or been around, because I've noticed jealousy. And one thing that always, what tear us down in our community, why we can't get loans from each other, or why we can't help each other get a job. Hey man, you on, put me on, but we don't do it. Right. That's what we do. And I told black man, I done had this conversation with black, and I got some beautiful black friends that helped me along the way. But even with job situations that I had, man, they had 3 white dudes that put me on power utility. They wouldn't help me get the job. So all white guys are bad? I mean, give me a phone call anytime, any job that's available or they see. Them dudes, Doc, got a job in California. Doc, I got a job in Europe. Hey man, I'm on, dude, you on. You know what I'm saying? So where we at like that? Where we at? Why you got to hear this guy resume and you got to be different with him and his kid? We got to stop that, bro. We really, really have to stop that. We got people insane. Why? Like I told you before, I think I told you in the last podcast. Why you think I'm in Arkansas? Why you think I've been away from home for 20 years, over 20 years? Because I couldn't get a job in the field I was working with, field I was working in, because none of us was putting us on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? None of us was putting us on. We talk about white people. We had black people work at Shell Refinery. Man, I didn't know what was going on over there. Especially if you was from Preston Hollow.
Right.
Black folks should have helped us get on there, but they didn't. But they did just like the white community did in our area. Grandfather, uncles, grandsons, everybody else got put on in the oil business. But no black person from Preston Hollow or St. Rose was getting over that except IMTT. But that's what I'm saying, man. We got to help ourselves. Don't look over there and saying what people doing. Do it. We got to help ourselves before we start blaming a bunch of people too. We got to do it.
And with that being said, Murdoch, you know, I want people to know, you know, of course, I mean, it should be common sense. It's not everybody.
Right.
It's not everybody, man.
No.
And for me, what's wrong with saying white or black? I'm talking about white or black. We live in a white or black world. You know, like what's going back to my friend, you know, and like I told him, and I'm gonna try to include that. I'm gonna correct myself, because when he spoke through messaging on Facebook, you know, he said what God told him, you know, to focus on and to love everybody. I said, man, you know what? I thanked him. I said, thank him for reminding me of that. Where I stand now, Murdoch, we can talk, anybody can talk about anything and everything under the sun. You know what I'm saying? But where my faith lies and what my faith has been teaching me all the days of my life, as I was brought up in the Word of God, that when you take God out of the equation, when you take God out of the conversation, or when you take God out of see, when I told you I was sick and tired of hearing about Will and Jada, I started hearing about his lifestyle and stuff like that. Hey, man, you know what? I was feeling you when you was the Fresh Prince and DJ Jetty Jeff and your music. You know what I'm saying? We was young to your stuff. Then you came with the sitcom. You know, it was good to watch. It was funny, yada yada yada. You started making some awesome movies, yada yada yada. But then because you hit this spotlight, and all of a sudden you felt bold enough to start telling people how you was living and how your household. You know, if you listen to any of the stuff that he ever said or posted or whatever, it was all over.
Right.
He thought he was doing. I'm gonna say it again. He thought that he had the perfect idea to be the perfect husband, the perfect father. Your son confused, your daughter confused, your wife been confused, and now you confused, and now all this stuff is going on. But guess what?
Right.
My faith teaches me that when you take God out of the equation, now I'm not speaking for nobody else. Everybody entitled to their opinion.
Right.
So my opinion is,
but that's human.
You put God out of the equation. The only time I ever heard him mention God was when he came back on stage to accept his award.
Right.
And he said that when God has him now, well, guess what? That's why I felt led to share with people. You know what? It's amazing that people will find God when catastrophe happens.
When Denzel told him the devil come in and said,
what Denzel told him.
Right. And you know, and that's the thing, man. Just like with your friend, I have no doubt, and I don't know the guy, he's probably a godly person. So if you're a godly person, then you can not hold your speaking back when you're saying why is all, because we always it's almost like going to judgment. You know, why it got to be black and white, Damon, but why you can't humble yourself to sit down and understand what Damon is going
to do. Watch this here. The point I was trying to make, I'm glad you said that. The point I was trying to make, or if I didn't make it right, the point I was thinking is, because I know what my faith, again, I know what my faith walk is. I know what I choose to believe in. I don't care I don't care what color says this, that. Right. I know what the Word of God tells me, and I know what I choose to believe according to the Word of God. Again, that's why I don't see color until you make me see your color.
Right.
Because the bottom line is, if you are a black man and you doing something, I see a black man doing something. Yeah. If you are a white man or a white person doing something, I see a white person doing something. Yep. But if you doing the right thing, hey man, I don't care about the color. You doing what's right. I can see two white men doing something, man, and I can tear up and like, man, you know what? That touched my heart. I don't know how many times I sit there and watch on social media white or black, these, all kind of stuff that goes on, the positive stuff, kids doing stuff in sports, someone help the neighbor, a white person helping a black person, a white person. I cheer up, man, because that's how it's supposed to be.
Right. And it's just like it goes back.
If white men get on social media and say something positive about each other, I'm not gonna sit there and say, why they had to mention two white men? What's wrong with two white men? It's two white men.
Right. And I heard even with the Will Smith thing, people were saying, well, if you listen to the white community, or even like Jim Carrey and all that, they just want Will to get a charge on assault and all the rest of that. Now, I'm a black man that always speak on equality and want things to be fair. Okay, but that was an assault. I don't give a damn if it was Seinfeld's popping Leonardo DiCaprio. Bro, that was an assault. What are we watching? Are we watching black? Are we watching white? Are we watching an assault? You can't make it no different than that. So I ain't saying I'm going on a white side or something like that. Right. But yeah, white people they're gonna say assault because here we go again. Like Puffy came out there and said, you know what we do? We're gonna go to this party, we're gonna handle this like men. That is something that we do in the black community. I don't want to make it seem like it's a black thing, but that's we are okay. It goes back to even like the cop. We tired of being quick to be judged so much that Chris Rock and Will Slap would have looked different than a Seinfeld and Leonardo DiCaprio. It would have been different. You know what I'm saying? We got to come together personally and figure this out, because the outcome of people out in the community, especially white community, going to look at it entirely different. It ain't so much of, people keep thinking it's the brotherhood. Bro, we got a lot on our plate. We got a lot on our plate that we have to figure out, and we have to come together and talk this thing out. That's why Will and Chris got to get together. And man, I'm gonna tell you this too. My wife told me something years ago. I was frustrated at trying to explain to people on Facebook when I was telling my own personal experiences. She said, Stephen, sometimes you're just going to have to be patient. They have a lot of white people that don't know. They don't know, Steve. They don't understand. And they don't know. It took me some time. They don't know. But it goes hand in hand with Killer Mike said too. Man, we tired of being y'all teachers. And I ain't talking about y'all meaning that the people that's not listening. But, they got folks that they just don't get it. And like you said the same thing. I tell about my personal experiences. And on the outside, they're looking at you as a great family man. I look at you as a great family. So if you look at me as a great family man, and I'm telling you about my own personal black experiences, how you can't understand it? Don't just throw God. God's supposed to love everybody, Damon. But are you listening to if God loved everybody, do you love me enough, brother? No. My white brother, to listen to what I'm saying, what's going on with me personally. Bro, that's the whole thing about everybody that's out here right now. Man, we ain't listening to each other. Well,
on that note, big brother, I'm going to share with you what I share with my wife or anybody at work. You know what I'm saying? We can't expect everybody to think like we think. I can't expect my wife to think like me. She shouldn't expect me to think like her. You know what I'm saying? My sister and I grew up in the same household, and we don't think the same about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff we do think the same. So the thing is, again, for me, so how do you get to a meeting place? When you take the word of God out of the equation, chaos.
Yep.
So when I really started and truly applying every aspect of trying to apply the word of God to every aspect of my life, and I speak about my life through the word of God. When you start arguing certain things, I'm not hearing you. Yeah. It's not affecting me. Why? You're arguing on something that is bigger than me.
Yeah. Okay,
so
I'll tell you that.
So that's why when I can look at something that took place with Chris Rock and Will Smith, and I'm seeing all the comments, and I have my own thoughts running through my head, because I'm just like everybody else. But when I choose to be silent and humble and wait for right thing to say, meaning waiting for my faith to kick in, let the Holy Spirit lead me and guide me. That's why my first post, and really my only post, was centered around two brothers seeing a broken brother and they're trying to uplift him.
Right.
They got enough people talking about negative stuff in this world. I
Right.
need to add my 2 cents. For what?
Right. You know, let's do this, dude. Let's do this, D. Okay, let's say this. And I'm a strong believer in God, man. And I believe God has a presence, and I believe God speaks through people. You know, I'm not the most religious person, but as far as knowing religion, but I know there's a God. So, okay, let's play this since we talk about black and white cultures and everything else. Okay, when we had the black president, we knew how that played out in our country, right? We knew how people felt about him. All right. Then we have the president that came after him happened to be white. We knew how that played out. Right. You know how that played out. And guess what? Us as people, not just the country, us as people did not conduct ourselves well. We did not conduct ourselves well. We showed the most stupidity and ignorance and non-compassion than we ever showed. So, okay. So you know what else God throw in the mix? COVID. Now here's a time for everybody to come together. This ain't a white thing, it ain't a black thing, it ain't a rich thing, it ain't a poor thing. COVID comes now. And it shows that now is the time. Here's another situation that you guys gonna have to work together and love each other. And we still failing to do that. We still failing today to do that. Now, hold on a second. Now we in a war. You know what I'm saying? But when we gonna listen? When are we gonna start taking care of each other? When are we gonna start listening, man? You know what I'm saying?
Keep talking.
Everything, like you said, if you don't, they got atheists out there. If you don't believe in a God, but boy, that's a lot of situations. That's a lot of coincidence because I'm hearing it. Right. If you're not putting your ear to the floor on the ugliness that's being shown, we showing ourselves that, man. We are showing ourselves how ugly we can be, and we can't figure out the simplest things on what's right and what's wrong. That's it.
And this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
My faith teaches me, along with what my mother taught me. For me, it's simple because I heard it every day of my life until she took her last breath. These things that happen in this world is written that it was gonna happen. Yeah. Regardless if you believe it or not.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's been happening way before COVID. When's the only time that everyone in this world comes together? When Katrina happened? Let's pray. Let's all pray.
Right.
All right.
Hey man, the Great Depression, people took care of this. People took care of that's why we came out of it. We had to take care of each other. But it's a me world. It's like our generation and generation coming, man. It's just not, it's a me world. You know, let's go get all the toilet paper. Let's go get all the bread. Let's go do this. It just, you know, let's up the prices and all. It's a me world.
Brother, you know, now that we on this conversation, the thing is, bro, just being truthfully as I share with people at work openly. And it goes back again to saying, you know what, man, you can't force no one. You can't force nothing on nobody. You can't, you shouldn't try to force your beliefs. You shouldn't try to force your faith, your religion, for whatever religion people lead. You know what I'm saying? And then now I'm gonna make it personal, and it really happens with me at work. And it means a lot to me. Don't try to force everything that's being allowed in this world on me, but yet you can accept the faith that I stand boldly on.
Right.
But you want me to accept everything under the sun, but when I stand and speak openly about my faith and boldly about my faith, you got issue with that. But trust me, I love reading the Bible because I love reading how David fought for God. Joshua fought for God. I'm not at that point yet where I'm that passive.
Right.
I throw it to my mama.
Right.
God gave you me to fight the things, to do the things you say you can't do, or they even say the things you say you can't say.
Right.
I'm saying, and that was many years ago. So my thing is, I'm gonna fight for what I believe in.
Right.
So when I read about people, you know what I'm saying? I read about the great men and women in the Bible. Of course, you know the Bible says they all had their problems. Well, good. That's good to know because I got my problems
too. Right. Because that's what makes us. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even with all that being said, for those people who watching Big Brother, I want them to understand this here. It's all relative to everything we're saying because it's about choices.
Right.
And if you don't have a foundation to stand on, something that's gonna hold you accountable, well, okay, it's one thing to hold yourself accountable after you make a wrong choice. Like you were saying earlier. I tell my wife, even girls when I was younger dating, hey man, they got certain places I would never take my wife off when I was in a dating game because I'm not that kind of guy. We grew up knowing that there are guys of men of color who will try you just for the sake of trying you.
Yeah.
They're gonna try you. For some men, it's easy to try to talk to a woman who's not a man.
Yeah.
You're not brave enough to talk to a woman who's walking by herself.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
They won't try to prove their manhood by getting into a fight with you.
Right.
So my thing is this here, and I heard several men of God share this with me. They say, Damon, just because I'm a pastor doesn't mean I'm not tempted or things don't happen in my life.
Right.
And the man of God told me, he said, but what I've learned to do is, as a man of God, a chosen man of God, of God's flock, I don't put myself in positions to be tempted.
Right. And just like what you said, like you probably could tell me, just like when I forgot who it was that told Jesus something about you a good man. And he said, why you call me a good man? I have flaws and I make mistakes myself. And that was part of the Bible. I forgot who it was. Like I said, I can't quote the Bible word for word.
Right.
But he was speaking to him. I don't know if it wasn't a beggar or whatever. It was like, called him good man. He's like, why you call me good man? There's nobody good except, the Father himself. I have my own flaws. I make mistakes. That doesn't make me no better than you of being a good man. So why would you call me good man? So, and that's part of the thing, man. We all fall short. Dude, look, like I said, here we go about social media, man. Social media make me think I'm the greatest man in the world next to the Cosby Show when it was going on. You know what I'm saying? Man, I got a lot of mistakes. I got a lot of mistakes as a dad. I got a lot of mistakes as a husband. I have to correct. And like you say, sometimes you can't wait till you mess up to try to correct them. It's a daily, man, everything is a daily challenge, man. It's a daily challenge. We have to understand, And
on that note, it goes, it's the foundation. And I'm stressing that, and I'm saying it because, as you know, that's, for us, me coming up behind you, that's what a lot of people don't understand. Regardless if they care to understand or not, when they hear us always talking about the fighting Wildcats, it was a foundation that we was put into, and it's something that it was a way of living as a student athlete in high school that impacted our life at school, in our sport of football, in our community. You know what I'm saying? So it taught us how to do certain things, and we had men who demanded that we follow these guidelines. And so for me, it felt hand in hand with what my parents had been trying to teach me. What a lot of people was trying to teach me at an early age, and coming from St. John Parish before I got to St. Charles Parish. So now the man that I am, I look at the fighting Wildcat way of doing things. It's no different. I don't see no different, but to me, it's a way of life, biblically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see me posting a lot about being accountable, being responsible, and being disciplined. That's holding yourself accountable as a grown man. So to tie it into what we started talking about, I question the foundation that Will Smith had. We've all been put in a situation once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Do I do what he did? Or do I think about it? See, I don't think, I'm like you. He laughed at it. And from the time the camera went from him laughing and seeing Jada's face turn to a frown, and it went back on Chris Rock, at some point in time, something happened that we don't know. And it clicked. And as I showed people at work when we spoke face to face, we already know from what they share with us, what's been going on in their household, in their
Right.
life.
Right.
A lot of stuff that we all thought he had in place.
Yeah. It's not.
In place.
It's not in place. Yeah.
So again, that slap was more, as you said, was more than about just what Chris Rock did. Now, I don't focus on that. I don't. Again, I don't care why it happened. It don't impact me as a man of color, as a black man. It's very unfortunate. Right. I was always taught to look for the positive, negative situation. So the first positive I said was this: I commend Chris Rock for how he handled himself.
Oh yeah,
he took a bigger man. And I ain't gonna lie, I can see me doing that. I can talk a lot of noise and a lot of trash and say,
we all could. We all could.
But the truth of the matter is, I would have thought about it because I'm not about to get arrested. I ain't gonna jail for nobody. It's
just not the arrest, you know. And I heard Fat Joe speak on this, and he said something, and he made sure all his brothers that he hung out in New York on the street, he made them understand this. He said they know me. He said they know me going in the club fighting 50 guys. Me and my boy, we'll go fight 50. We'll turn the club. We'll be moving furniture in there. He said, but I'm gonna tell y'all something that's gonna shock everybody. On that stage, on that plateau, amongst the people and the peers, I think I would have took that slap too. And that's what Fat Joe said. So we all can say what we would do, but even with the slap, when Chris Rock came back around and seen the audience, maybe that's what he said, like, bro, we can't do this, or I can't do this. You know, we don't know what was going through the man's mind. But when he came and collected himself, you know, because like I said, of course, speaking out, bro, that couldn't be me. You know, but I'm saying that, but when you turn to see and you see the faces, and I done been there before. I done snapped before. I done snapped in front of my kids, and I seen their faces, and it hurt me. And I slowed myself down. So people saying what they'll do when that man got slapped and he turned and seen that audience of people, hey man, that's probably why he walked away from it, you know?
Well, he professional, and he, matter of fact, I'm gonna say it like this here, because this is what I was taught to do, and this is what I always do. He thought about the consequences of his actions.
Oh yeah, he did. He did. Yep,
he thought about the consequences of actions, and I share with my son to this day. Hey man, my dad struck fear in me. He struck so much fear in me, big brother, at an early age that to this day I can talk all the trash that I want, but the bottom line is, I'm gonna think about the consequences of my actions before I do something I'll say.
Exactly. You know. But man,
I just speak on it because it's everything. It was opportunity for me to shed light on my foundation that that I was brought up on. My son, my big boy, just walked up the thing that I'm sharing with him. You know what I'm saying? You have to be accountable for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself in a position where someone is gonna hold you accountable for your actions.
Right.
Because you may not like how they hold you accountable.
Yep.
Which goes into being a fighting Wildcat. You know, he was held accountable, and for the most part, we didn't like how we was held accountable. So that was a lesson in itself as well. So that's definitely why when you reach out to me, man, I wanted to do this. I wanted to give people a different perspective, because there's not a lot of people who focusing on the positive, and everybody says some right things. Everybody says some good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of women saying about being a real man. And granted, every woman, every woman wants to have a real man that's gonna stand up for them. You know, we say that. You know, we know that if we're street, and we would not let anybody disrespect our women. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we gonna think twice about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have to be smart. You have to be smart about it.
Go ahead.
Hey, it goes back to what I said earlier. You have to be smart about it. You know how many guys in the graveyard has an honorable thing with
what Dave Chappelle said? When keeping it real goes wrong.
Wrong, exactly. You know, and they probably, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you this, and I don't want nobody to sound like I'm a coward. I wouldn't do anything. Bro, the most work I ever put in my house, work I ever put in my life is in my house. So you think I wouldn't protect my wife? You think I wouldn't go off? Yeah, but I'll give you this situation, a personal situation, personal. I remember my wife was driving. We were coming with the 2 younger kids from a restaurant. We driving, had a little young knucklehead in the car, driving crazy, cutting off when we just got on the service road. My wife doing a angry driving with the guy. Bah, 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 you get outside, get outside. So the guy got behind us. We pulled over. She turned off the road, the service road, stopped at the turn. The guy behind us, okay, protector. Now, I'm the protector now, but thank you. I don't have nothing. Normally, I always have my concealed carry. I don't have nothing. I got 2 kids behind her. And this guy with his lights on behind us. So now if he's bold enough to almost run us off the road, and then you pull off, and he pull off and just sitting behind you, you know what I told my wife? Melissa, move on. She's like, but that idiot, he behind. I said, take the L and let's go. I said, you got 2 kids. This guy's behind us. And what's between him and us are our 2 children, and I don't have nothing in this car. Move on. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no cowardly act. It was the truth. It was the truth of reality. So let's say I did a Will Smith. Got out the car. I can't see the guy because he got his lights on. Hey man, what you doing? What you doing? Do. I don't even see it coming. You know what I'm saying? That's stupidity, man. Take your L. Sometimes you just got to take your L and move on. Right. You know? And especially in that situation, what are we going to do? You know, you got us wedged between this guy and our kids and us in the front. It's not a good situation for us, you know? Right. And that's what I'm talking about, being honorable. Have your wife, kids, and everybody understand. You have to understand that, you know? So that you know, that's one of my stories. So, man, you know, sometimes you just got to think it through, you know? Right. You can't just go on reaction and emotions like that, man. You know, it just, I don't know. That's my thing.
Right, bro. And with that being said, big brother, you know what? And we're gonna start to shut it down like this here. Mm-hmm. Everybody entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
I don't personally, I take offense to. I really do. I'm not how to put it. I take offense when people say, "Well, because of Will Smith, they're gonna look at me in a certain way," and it's a setback for the black community.
Yeah.
And I don't respect them. It might be true how things have been done in the society, but from a personal standpoint, I don't accept that because, like I said, I have been blessed based on the choices that I have made. I have been blessed based on the prayers of people who have prayed for me and covered me in the name of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So I'm accountable for myself and my family. My wife is accountable for herself and my family. I have yet to meet Will Smith personally, Jada.
Right.
I have never been to a Grammy. I have never been to any of the movies that he, you know, that he was making to eat behind seeing him. So they don't affect my household. Right. So that's why, you know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I'm not as much as I respect him, I don't know him. Mm-hmm. Right. I know of him. I don't know him. And I know he's very intelligent. Very intelligent, and his word speaks volume for our black community.
But that's Kareem's perspective of it.
Right, you know? Exactly. And the only reason why I keep saying his name because I just saw his post earlier this morning that I ain't gonna take time to read it because when I saw exactly where I was going, I'm like, man, I'm not accepting that.
Right.
You Stephen Murdoch. I'm Damon Mason. What I do don't impact you. Even though we both fight Wildcats, guess what? You still Stephen Murdoch.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Now, if me and you was in high school together and we had practice together, we ride the bus together, we on football field together, then what you do is going to impact my life. Right. Exactly. After that's the issue.
Right.
You feel me? If we at work together and we supposed to be doing the same damn thing on the job and I'm doing more than you, we got problems.
Right. Well, see, that go to show you, like I told you about the example with my wife. you know, about being smart about it. Bro, I know where I came from. You know what I'm saying? That's where I came from taught me that. Bro, you better think on the situation. You better think about your family. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the slap. If I slap Damon Mason, right? I slap Damon Mason walk away from it, and then Damon see me going out partying and not even making apologize after, I know I got some unresolved issues with Damon. You know what I'm saying? But I know if I say, man, Damon, I apologize to Damon, man, I done made myself look stupid and don't go out partying, I know me and Damon conversation might be different. You know? He probably said, look, bro, now we're going to talk about it. But I know, I think I know Damon well enough. If I slap that man, don't make no apology and go out partying after, we got some unresolved issues. Right. You know? And I will respect Damon to have some unresolved issues with me. You know, so, man, it's just that, man, you got to think things through. You know, you just got to think it through. Yeah. Right. But, man, I'm going to wrap it up. I know you got to go, man. We got to get Hank back in here, too.
Right. You know what, man? I know I'm off tomorrow, as I said.
Yeah. I'll be off the same time. Yeah.
But this time tonight, I think if we do the same time and not as long, it'd be good. I do have to get up the next morning for work.
Right.
But if not tomorrow, definitely next Tuesday or next Wednesday.
Sound good. Yeah. Sound good, man. I'm available. Yeah. So,
I'm gonna say this in closing. I'm gonna let you say one more thing. You know, but the bottom line is, man, it happened, and I just say it to the rest of us who are not on that financial level or the platform of these guys. Is, you know, there or there for our entertainment, but don't forget what really matters. Don't forget, you know, for me, I'm not gonna forget what matters for me is my household, my children, what my sons are going through, what my wife has to deal with on the job as a principal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not just my kids, but the kids who my kids are around. Because if something that's take place in my community that I live in affects my kids, it's also affecting these other kids.
Right.
And
exactly.
That's how, again, it goes back to my upbringing. You know, and I'm just gonna use football as an example. When I'm around football for my son, I'm always in dad mode, but I'm also in coach mode. Meaning I'm always everything that's going on.
Always, yeah.
And I'm not only seeing what my son is doing right or wrong. I'm watching what the other kids are doing right or wrong, because I am definitely watching what the coaches are doing right or wrong.
Right or wrong. Right.
And I'm in it this way because it goes out to high school coaches in certain schools, certain coaches in particular, back in the river parishes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't be fussing at these kids for something that you're not teaching them.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say it again.
Exactly.
Stop fussing at these kids for what you're not teaching them. It's one thing to tell a kid to do something, but if you don't have the audacity to teach them or don't have the knowledge to teach them, you keep your mouth shut, or you get some extra training, or find someone who can teach these kids.
And you know what? I'm gonna save that with Hank get on here for the next conversation. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I got a question to ask you.
I'm gonna say it again when Hank get on, and the next time we do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give my part this here. And if you are a coach who is holding grudges, on the kid,
or catering instead of coaching, it's ridiculous.
I'm gonna stop there so we can get more detail on it.
All right, my brother. Hey, listen, I love you. Love your platform, brother. Always supporting it. Just like what you said, man. More important thing, God and your family. And then everything else, man, is what we call lanyard, dude. You know, just take care of your business, man. And you're doing good. You're doing good, brother.
Brother. Appreciate you, man. I love you, man. So, guys, hey, we thank you guys. You know, we had a couple people who watched us live, you know, and honestly, that was, I'm gonna say it's no fault to no one. I was having technical issues as I kept looking at my cell phone. It wasn't live on Facebook like I wanted to be, but I will be recording. So for those of you who are watching the recording, thank you guys. It was lengthy, but it was not a time limit. We just wanted to share some things. But to my big brother, man, again, I love you as always.
Love you too, boy.
You take care, be blessed. All you guys take care, be blessed, and take care of your families first. All right?
Yes, exactly.
God in the midst of everything. All right, so until next time, you guys take care, be safe, and as always.
All right, brother.
Peace.
See you later, man.
All right, Big Murdoch. Later.
All right.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night, and until next time, all right? Be safe.